I got a bad, I got a bad, I got a bad. I'm hot for teachers. Well, let's get into it. As we have the American, of course, schools selling out the people, the children, and everything like that. So if you don't think America did it, do you think Canada did it? Do you think the principals around Ontario would sell out the children? Ha! That's a very good question. Let's get into that. Here in Ontario, Canada, where I'm running for Premier, we have approximately exactly around 7,495 principals across Ontario. So would they sell out to Doug Ford and Justin Trudeau? Have they did it before for 1%? Well, of course they did. But this is a little different. They didn't sell out for 1% over the pandemic. During the time of the pandemic, they received a raise of $2.4 million. Well, isn't that just special like the church lady? Of course, they're for your children to wear a mask. Of course, they're going to believe the health experts. Of course, they're going to do whatever the government tells them to do. And what does a principal make an average of? Well, over $100,000. During the time of the pandemic, they get a raise, and they weren't even in school to teach anything. So did the Ontario principals sell out? Well, they sure did. So are your children going to have to wear masks as long as Doug Ford and Justin Trudeau say so? Well, for sure they will make it. They'll even come up with excuses of how they should do it. They will go right out there and have their children line up like soldiers 6 feet away from each other. Wear a mask even though it doesn't affect children the most. You've heard it all over. You heard Paul Rand tell you right there from the American government. Anybody from the Canadian government's already been fired if they said anything. So have the principals across Ontario sold out the children of Ontario every chance they get. If your government's a sellout, your principals are a sellout, your union stewards are a sellout, how do you ever think a real person like me is going to be voted for Premier of Ontario if everywhere in Ontario is corrupt? How do you change it? No wonder people come out there and they sit there and they laugh at everything. But sooner or later, the teachers are all responsible for crimes. Well, not the teachers, I mean the principals. So they'll also be charged for crimes against humanity, for believing in health experts, believing in politicians who have never told the truth, but for most of all, selling out the Ontario children and the parents for $2.4 million. How do I know this information? Well, it's all across Google. There's videos on YouTube about it. But man, are they all sellouts